Welcome to Go Home Heat, an NXT podcast.
Woo!
We got Justin here. Welcome back, big guy.
Yes, sir. Glad to be back.
All right, glad to have you. I was doing this NXT one by myself because Nick sat in on the SmackDown one, but doing the NXT one by myself, I felt so lonely.
Aw.
I could cry. That's a song, I think.
It is.
Elvis.
No.
I feel so lonely, baby.
I was like, I'm so lonely I could cry. Hank Williams.
Even better. Unless you're an Elvis fan, in which case I'm really sorry.
Oh, no.
Okay, so we wound up having an awards thing, and we'll just run through them quickly. It's a thread through the show. There are a couple of threads
We
through
can
the
just
show.
go ahead and hit him.
Yeah. Event, War Games. I don't have a problem with that. Rivalry, Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. Sure. Breakout Star, Shotzi. Sure. Tag Team, Undisputed Era. I would probably have a problem with that, but I don't think they had a standout tag team really anyway. There was a little bit there where Fandango was kind of something, and I like what they're doing right now with the tag team division, but it felt like they took them a
while to get there.
like in month 10 they finally started hitting their groove on tag teams, which is a little late. Female Io Shirai, of course. Male Adam Cole. I'm in doubt on that. It's probably really Keith Lee. But he's not there anymore.
Yeah,
could have been Cameron Cross, but he's not there anymore. But he
Karrion
had been
Kross.
hurt.
Yeah, they didn't put. He wasn't up for anything. Notice that?
Right, which is weird. Match Balor O'Reilly, absolutely.
Have no problem with that.
Future star Austin Theory, that's a Vince McMahon. We wrote that in because that's part of the show today.
Yes.
And even though Vince we hear doesn't have anything to do with this. Okay, overall. Io Shirai, absolutely. She main events all the time, and she has
for good reason.
Right, she's the best thing going today. Anyway, I didn't have a problem with a whole lot of this. I'm not a big award show guy anyway. If you're going to argue that Adam Cole was the best male star, then what he was able to accomplish with Pat McAfee, who was a bit of a it's amazing what he managed to accomplish in wrestling this year as a punter.
Yeah.
And the fact that the War Games pay-per-view was the event of the year, and the main event of that was Cole's crew versus McAfee's crew. It all makes sense. And McAfee took the worst bumps in the thing, too, right? Okay, so the show itself, the Colossal Bronson Reed versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Great showing here by Reed. It was a little too quick for my taste. I think they can do better, but that wasn't really the story we were trying to tell. Scott was able to kind of deal with Bronson a little bit by hurting the knee on some shenanigans where he acted like his shoulder was hurt in order to get a shot at Bronson's knee. But the sheer size of Bronson overwhelmed him. He does hit the senton and the avalanche for the 1-2-3, and I thought that a neat spot.
The tsunami.
Yes. It's not an avalanche, it's a tsunami. Either way, it looks like it hurts.
Oh, it's one of the few dudes who does that makes me think, I'd quit.
Did you notice this, though? They did have a little tribute pick of Luke Harper, John Hubert, Brody Lee beforehand. Scott hit the ground for the step over. And Bronson just rolled right over the top of him, like a front roll.
Yes.
Right over him. Yes. I thought, how clever that nobody ever does that. I've seen that move a million times.
Yep, just rolled on him.
Right.
I thought, look, and when you're that big, dude, that move hurts.
Right. You know what they should do? You should do next a senton, same situation.
Yeah.
You know, just take one step over him and fall back on top of him.
Yeah, hit him with it.
Because his size, he doesn't need to go hit the rope and come back.
No, he didn't need all that.
Right. I thought this was well done. Again, a little too short for me.
Yeah.
But the story we're telling right now is Bronson's ascension and Swerve being a heel, and this was the wrong place, wrong time for Swerve, right? Grizzled Young Vets versus Fandango. I thought this was really good. Breezango does the classic underdog thing. Fandango continues to injure that same knee
every week,
doing stupid crap.
Yeah.
And that's okay with me because they don't need to be winning anyway. This time he climbed a scaffold and jumped down onto Gibson.
How pretty did that look?
Yeah, he's really good, dude. Kind of a shame that he came into being this good at wrestling this late.
Yeah.
Because evidently all the physical tools were there for whatever reason. It just took him a while to get it all figured out. But
get it all put together.
Right. Well, and he was over for not being a good wrestler You know, because for a long time he was over to where my job is to go out here and swing my hips and do the guillotine at the end, which sucks in a way because it stagnated his growth as a performer.
As a wrestler. Yeah.
Right. But this one, I love the Grizzled Young Vets.
Oh, they're top tier.
And because of the injured leg, Tyler winds up getting the hot tag and does really well. And then when he goes to try to get the tag, they eliminate Fandango outside of the ring by first getting him off the apron and then throwing him through the steel chairs outside, which of course that leads to Tyler getting the ticket to Mayhem, which I like that finish too.
Oh yeah,
I like the name of it. I like that they a lot of what they do are little old homages to the Beatles, which is strange for some gruff guys, right?
Yeah.
And but hey, the Beatles were bigger than Jesus, so
dang Skippy.
Who the real heels?
Exactly.
Right? Dusty Classic is coming, and when Strong and them get their award, when Strong and Fish get their award for tag team, Strong and Cole announced that they will be entering the Dusty Classic and trying to win it, I think, back to back.
Yeah.
With 3 different setups. Right? And that's pretty cool. And I kind of would like to see it because that would put them right back in the main event scene. And,
yes.
And you can have the tournament. You can utilize this tournament to do what tournaments should do: create rivalries.
Yeah.
Which should you can see? Okay, like we said, maybe it was the 11th. Maybe it was the 11th month of the year that they figured out that we need a tag team division. Suddenly, here we are on day 1, or actually, it was the day before New Year's Eve. We have a tag team division. We're going into a tournament which can give us rivalries coming out of that tournament. This can be great for this division.
Yeah, it can. Very much so.
You know what I mean? And the Dusty Classic is always kind of cool anyway because you get to think about Dusty and have Dusty stuff going on. Zia Lee and Boa have walked through the pain, and now they are walking into the bright light of action next week.
They are about to murder some people.
And I want to see that woman.
Yes. And I'm going to, and again, I'm going to say something. Because you watch the strikes, you got a video package of them throwing strikes again and stuff like that. And you watch Zia Lee, and they should make every female wrestler who wants to throw punches and wants to throw any sort of strikes in wrestling, heck, they should make 90% of the dudes get back there with Zia Lee.
And learn how to kick.
Learn how to kick. Learn how to throw a punch.
Right.
Learn how to throw it to make it look good.
Yes.
Because she does wushu. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's designed to...
Striking.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I'm asking a question. It is a striking...
It's a striking art. They have... I mean, you have some grappling stuff mixed in, but it's mainly striking. It's mainly demonstration. Wushu is like a combination of a lot of stuff. It's not... It's a combination art. It's a lot of other stuff from Chinese martial arts mixed together. It's like a national... It's like... It's kind of communist. Not really. It's just... It's the national art. She's on their wushu demonstration team. Now, Jet Li was on that team. We're talking about this is how good she is.
And now that leads to a form of correct me if I'm wrong. Is that Jackie Chan?
Jackie Chan, no. Jackie Chan does a lot of stuff. Wushu. He trained in some wushu, but he grew up in Hong Kong. In Hong Kong, he did Chinese opera. It was where he started out at, in Wing Chun, which is where you see a lot of the hand really close in trapping stuff that he does. Okay,
so those are different.
Yeah,
one's a catching and one's a throwing.
Well, if we don't have this conversation, there's hundreds of Chinese martial arts.
Okay.
Wing Chun is very close up. It's what Bruce Lee started out in as far as one of his original arts, and he based a lot of his stuff off of it because it's actually very close up effective and is actually one of the few martial arts you'll ever see that's attributed its origin to a woman. Yeah. Buddhist nun who escaped Shaolin taught a princess who wanted to escape her husband. Arranged marriage.
No shite.
Yeah, husband said, if you can beat me, you don't have to get married. Or she challenged, I can't remember the story exactly, or she said, if you can beat me in a fight, a year from now, I'll marry you. and she went and trained and developed Wing Chun and that with the nun who'd escaped Shaolin, and then that's how the art came about, which is one of the...
Which makes sense too. Dude, we'll get back to this quickly, but because Bruce was a slender.
Yeah, 5'1", 5'2", right in that area, about 120, 130 pounds, small dude.
So an art developed through a woman would make sense because
it's very close up. It's also, Bruce Lee was incredibly nearsighted, and Wing Chun relies on touch. Once you make contact with your opponent, you don't separate. You keep contact with them. You use that contact to then read what they're going to do, which is where you'll see Chi Sao, which is sticking hands drills. When you saw Bruce Lee do the thing with Ed in Enter the Dragon, where he put his wrist at wrist with Bob Wall, and that was reference point trapping. That comes out of Wing Chun and stuff like that. Okay. Once I feel, it's like, once we touch each other, now it's like a quick draw. Like, I'll feel you when you move, and you'll feel me when I move, and it's like
an incredibly advanced aspect of hand slapping.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Okay.
Incidentally, Bruce actually punched Bob Wall in the face in that scene. They actually had to make Bruce slow down a couple times too, because the first time they tried to shoot it, Bob Wall's head just snapped back, and the director was like, "You got to actually hit him, Bruce. You can't just act." And Bob Wall's like, "You did hit me," but the film was too slow to catch. The number of frames per second was too slow to catch Bruce moving. It looked all choppy and messed up.
Oh my God! It looked fake because he was so fast.
It looked fake because he's so fast.
Wow.
Back to Zilita.
Yeah. Okay. Mercedes Martinez is next.
Baddest entrance I've seen in a while.
Yes. Versus Valentina Feroz, who is again wrong place, wrong time. Squash. No interest. No issue with this. That's the story we're telling. She's building towards the upper tier of the division, and she's at the right. It sucks that they stuck her in Reckoning, but I think that if she had been in this division, it'd be muddled up there, and she's on her way up there. Yeah. And so she'll probably have Ripley next, or the loser.
Look at the monsters you have. You have Rhea Ripley. You have Raquel Gonzalez. You have Mercedes Martinez.
Right.
These three women are three of the most dominant looking forces.
Dude, they're fixing to have Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
Back. To go with the fact that they had the most athletic women in pro wrestling in this division. Yeah, I mean, we're high on Sasha. Sasha and Charlotte and Bayley and Bianca, who just left. Mm-hmm. They lose Bianca, it doesn't even matter. Mm-mm. Io Shirai, it's nuts. It is nuts how great this women's division is. Okay, it's last couple of weeks at the 1 hour mark of this show. Pete Dunne wrestles a member of the Undisputed Era, and if they want to just make this a program where we rotate the 4 against Pete Dunne every week at 8 o'clock.
I have no problem with that.
Jesus Christ.
That dude is so good.
Dunne versus Roddy Strong. Just amazing. Roddy is the perfect mid-card style, upper mid-card style wrestler for any company. Mm-hmm. He makes your talent look so good. You can have him in the tag division, and then you can put him in these singles matches that he's not supposed to win because he's a tag guy, and he gives you something close to 4. It would be better than that, but you have to give him enough time or whatever. Yeah. But this is great. I mean, this was amazing. You have Roddy, the consummate pro wrestler, versus the pure wrestling MMA merge of what Dunne does, the technical stuff.
The hybrid MMA catch-can mix.
The modern ground wrestler, Dunne, which he's as good as anybody at that. And then they do it back and forth. The brutal end winds up being the finisher here because...
Bitter end.
The bitter end, yes. I'm sorry. I wrote brutal, bitter end because it was. I'm not huge on that finish because it always looks to me weird because...
It's a little weird.
It almost looks like the guy's putting it on is reversing it. It freaks me out. I love Pete Dunne. I would prefer him finish every match differently than he does. But everything up until that last click is perfect to me with him. And the story winds up being that the guy who is a tag wrestler makes one mistake too many as the wrestling match goes too long for him, which is perfect in how Roddy's matches should go.
Yep.
I loved it. Finn and Kyle talk about their match of the year award. When Finn gets it, he goes to the ring and kind of throws the award or lays the award on the ground. Says, "I don't need that. I have my belt."
Yeah.
you can have the award. And Kyle said that this award does mean something to me only because it proves, and both of them say, the award proves I deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them acknowledge Finn is the measuring stick. And they kind of say Finn is the measuring stick of pro wrestling.
I don't disagree with that.
And it is something you haven't heard about Finn in a while. You forgot.
Mm-hmm.
From the match he had with Damian Priest to the matches he's had as a champion.
Yep.
You have forgotten. It doesn't mean it wasn't true.
Nope.
And for them to acknowledge that, and for Finn to acknowledge Kyle's greatness
Yes.
as a challenger, and for Kyle to, I like it.
I love all of it.
I like it. And I cannot wait
Got me hyped.
for these two guys to get it on again next week. So then we wind up with Scarlett and Karrion Kross coming out, and Scarlett speaks in German.
Croatian, I think.
Croatian.
Yeah.
Okay. But that was good. That makes sense. Make more sense. Okay.
Because I heard, I'm thinking, because I heard Karrion Kross speak Croatian one time, him and Dijak.
So it would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might be wrong on that.
Okay. And so then they say basically the end is near, the end is coming. Damian creeps up behind Cameron and Karrion and says, this is how a real man fights. And so when they get face to face, he elbows him upside the head. They brawl to the point in which they destroy the barricade, and they're laying their broken bodies on top of each other, and they seem to have impressed Scarlett, who is creepily laughing wickedly above their broken bodies. You liked it?
Loved every bit of this. You don't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
You don't yell at each other. You get out there and you go beating the crap out of each other.
And she's delighted.
The whole thing's
Even
happening.
though her man is laying there, she's delighted because the violence is what she worships.
When I was sitting there watching these two, I was like, this right here has the potential to be a career feud for both of these guys. Like,
Right.
these guys, and what I mean by that too is it should be like those dudes should be tag team partners at some point.
Yeah.
Like they should be a team. They should break up. They should guillotine. They should fight. This should be
Like we kind of thought was going to happen with Keith Lee and Damian Priest.
yeah.
Like they're destined to always fight.
Yes, and
Right.
then be and then team up,
Mm-hmm.
and then fall out again, and then
Right. But they should always be one another's measuring stick.
yes,
They've been in the company about the same amount of time.
they're
similar in size.
similar but different enough to be rivals. You've got
Right.
the fun guy,
Thinner and athletic, fun.
yeah, and the
Monster.
serious,
Right.
Absolutely.
I had not thought of it like that, but now that you say it, it makes sense. Escobar and Legado del Fantasma hit the ring, completely feeling themselves. I don't think that
That
Escobar's,
jacket helps.
as the kids say, drip is matched currently in pro wrestling.
Yeah,
That guy shows up dressed.
pimp.
Yes, he does. And he lets you know that it has been an amazing year for him and that they are the Luchas leaders, the leaders of the Luchas, to which we find out that a Lucha House Party does not agree with. Holy cow, the Lucha House Party comes out, and that sounds like a challenge, and we get a banger.
Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere.
Grand Metalik and Lindsay Eldorado, and if they're going to be in the Dusty Classic,
Oh, they should totally put them in there.
you're right.
Yes.
Right.
No problem with that.
Against Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza, I would like to see them move to the show.
I have no problem with that. You can get a lot out of those guys that they're being
You
wasted.
don't have to make them win.
No,
You
dude.
can give them 20 minutes.
You need a new Lurch. Now that you push Lurch up,
Yeah.
Everrise is only going to get you so far.
Mm-hmm. And you need one on both sides.
Yeah.
I agree. And
Oh,
so-
wait, let's go back 5 minutes, though, to Everrise came out there after the Grizzly Young Veterans match. It was
forgot.
having Leon Ruff's girlfriend or fiance hold him back, and
Yeah.
they kept grabbing her to get him.
Yes. Dude, they're really killing it.
They're hilarious.
They are such little, I guess, chicken shite.
Yeah,
Would be
dude.
the way you would. Yeah, oh, they're
Yeah.
killing it. They're killing it. Okay, and so we get a fantastic match, like we said, between these guys. And Grand Metalik, and they go over. And
Yeah.
Grand Metalik hits his Hurricane Rana into a walking tightrope springboard elbow.
Yeah.
And he wins. And then we get next week, we're going to wind up with Grand Metalik versus Escobar
Yeah.
for the Cruiserweight title. And what a week. Metalik beat Miz on Monday.
Uh-huh.
Gets the pin over the top faction right now going. Not the top faction, but a top faction.
in their particular, in the Lucha area, in the Cruiserweight fast guy area, they're the top faction.
Correct. And they've been dominating. And then he gets the clean win and gets the clean matchup, which they managed to tell that story over 2 shows, which was kind of neat too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Rhea Ripley, and that's going to be a banger.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be off the chain.
Yeah, that's going to be a good show next week.
Oh yeah, dude, that whole show, man. I don't see a weak match on it.
Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Gonzalez video. I loved it. I didn't know they were close.
I didn't know they were buddies.
The tattoo. I've seen Rhea's pinky tattoo across the side of her hand of R&R. I did not know this for Rhea and Rachel.
That's cool.
Or Raquel.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they tell the breakup story. It's a great little segment to make this matter more. Then the cool little visual with the R and R, and then they pull the one line out of it, and it's R versus
VR.
R. Right, I liked it. Okay. The thread through the show is the Way are feeling confident as they walk into the arena, and a black cat appears.
Uh-huh.
Gargano, of course, is worried.
He ends up walking under a ladder later, breaking a mirror.
Then he gets, when Theory gets his award, he manages to say, I'm going to do big things, and he's going to beat that curse, which you never say
Jinx
curses.
it.
So that's 2 that's 2 bad luckers. And then Furious Johnny throws the whey protein he gave Theory into a glass, into a mirror. Boom, we break mirror. 3 bad lucks. And then he's so mad, he doesn't even realize he walks under a ladder. 4 bad lucks.
Mm-hmm.
To which, of course, his wife says, don't tell him that he walked under that ladder.
Mm-mm.
But the lucky thing for him is 4 bad lucks isn't 3.
No.
That's an even number. So they canceled each other out.
Yes.
He's good to go.
He's ready.
Yes. So if you ever do something unlucky, quickly do something worse.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Gargano versus Leon Ruff, and I love this match.
Oh, man. Leon!
He is something, boy. He is amazing. Ruff gets out to a quick start. Johnny flips it, dominates, begins to mock. Ruff struggles to keep up.
Well, but the first part of the match, Ruff was like everything Johnny did, he had a counter for.
Correct. Yeah, he was really good early. Right.
He was killing him.
Yeah. And Ruff hits the Enziguri, hanging neck breaker, German suplex, cannonball for a near fall. A powerbomb by Gargano resets the match. Gargano escapes. Ruff gets to the ropes. That breaks the hold. Ruff hits the flatliner outside. Hits a frog splash, another near fall. Gargano manages to plant Ruff into a turnbuckle for the final heartbeat. 1, 2, 3. Loved it. Easy show. Everything about Johnny should have won, but Leon looked like a superstar. Okay, so let's see. We have Io versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm did come out and give a promo. I skipped over that for some reason.
Oh, I know why you skipped over it.
Yes, because she was wearing a hat that looked like it was SS.
Yeah, looked like a Nazi hat.
I honestly think she has seen Vince Neil in a similar hat, and she was kind of doing this
Vince
Neil gimmick.
I am not in any way alleging any sort of, like, I think she got a hat that looked cool, that, you know.
Strangely enough, looked a whole lot like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, Io's wrestling
Unfortunate.
Tony, right, next week.
Yes.
Who wins?
Io.
Okay, Ripley, Gonzalez. Who wins?
Gonzalez.
I think so too, because she's got to fight Io next.
Mm-hmm.
Cross. And Finn Balor versus.
I think, man, that's an iffy one for me. I'm gonna go. I don't know if they're ready to pull the trigger on O'Reilly yet, or if they want Finn Cross. Karrion Kross, Kyle O'Reilly is a very intriguing matchup for me because they're both the martial arts background. They both legit fighters, understand how to make that stuff look good. I could really. I'm gonna go with Kyle. I'm gonna give it I don't really think that. I think it's a little more likely it's going to be Finn, but I'm going to go with Kyle and just fantasy book a little bit because I think.
Or would you have Kyle lose and then wrestle a one-off with Cross to see who gets to fight Finn, and then have
Yeah, but Kyle has to lose that match then. That's 2 losses
in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see him taking the belt off
Can't
Finn.
either, really.
But I do love the idea of doing that.
Yes.
And I also love what Finn's been doing, so I would be torn a little bit.
Yeah.
Or you could have, if Kyle wins, you get another match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which I don't have a problem with the trilogy either in this situation. Especially if I think they had a close to a match of the year candidate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if the next one is like that too, and I assume they think it will be, they're pubbing it like it
Yeah,
is,
they're pushing.
then why wouldn't you do 3 and have the next one, the tiebreaker, be at a takeover?
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see. I can't wait, though. It's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
This is a Go Home Heat production. Copyright 2020. Thank you, Justin.
No, it's not copyright 2020. It's copyright 2021.
Lord have mercy. It is copyright 2021. What a great week.
Yep.
Happy New Year, guys. Thank
Happy
you
New
for
Year.
hanging out.